What's up, y'all? It's Dee about to react to this video by Omizi. It's titled Myron Can't Stop Embarrassing Himself. Okay, he clearly does this for a living. This is his whole brand now, is to embarrass himself and make himself look stupid. And we love to watch and laugh, so let's watch.
Myron, listen, you're not white. Sorry. We don't need you talking to white women, trying to, interact with them at all.
And that's the problem.
Right.
That's the problem. I don't need to be white to give a... See, here's the thing. You're behaving like a black person now. You're tipping out. You're literally behaving like a white person.
How do black people get brought into this? This man is obsessed. What a weirdo. A white man is reading you. He's showing how racist he is towards you, and then your response is to be racist towards black people. It's to be anti-black as you are debating with a bald-head white man, a bald-head racist white man. Where is the logic?
Are behaving like a black person. So here's the difference. See?
At this juncture in the timeline, I'm starting to believe that Myron Gaines has some sort of humiliation kink because he sets himself up for failure time and time again. In an attempt to do his best Charlie Kirk impersonation, Myron Gaines is going to college campuses, trying to do the whole debate me, have a conversation with people method that got Charlie Kirk famous. But where he doesn't follow the meta is this time he's debating fully grown adults. People with a level of emotional intelligence, and the word is out on this method anyway. It's pretty much been patched, but that's not going to stop Myron, who is addicted to being humiliated in the public eye. On this tour, not only does he get exposed for being a dating guru fraud, which we already knew.
You literally have had one relationship in your mid-30s. Why should anybody listen to you for dating advice?
I've dated and been around a lot of women.
No, you haven't.
You're a simp and you're a sucker and you believe in the marriage institution.
Married, I've been in many relationships.
See, here's the thing. Being married, that's not the male statistic of success.
He also gets exposed for being a performative Nazi, and simultaneously the people that he keeps tap dancing for find every opportunity to remind him of exactly who he is. A CIA operative trying to get some sort of grift off. And every time I see content like this, I laugh. You see, in 2026, people have caught on to the grift. And the only thing that I can think of is that either Myron doesn't realize that, or he has some special humiliation fetish that he can't get away from. But nonetheless, we've got to talk about it. If you knew this and you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. It's going to go a long way for the community. We are chugging on the way to 170K, brothers and sisters, and everything in between. Now, back into the video. The Prove Me Wrong series that got popularized by Steven Crowder and Charlie Kirk is one that we've all known has been very disingenuous. They go to these college campuses, ask these trapdoor questions to students, and at first it was this interesting concept, this social experiment that showed what the youth are thinking and where their brains work. But in 2026, it's rage bait, and everybody and their mother knows that. Everybody except for seemingly Myron Gaines. When he went on his tour, he thought he was going to be able to get off whatever, whenever. But the select group of people that he's been pandering to over the past couple of years and his haters have said that they are tired of it. They're going to meet him with opposition every single chance that they get, which explains why when he went to one of these campuses, a white nationalist, yes, a self-proclaimed white nationalist, came up on him and G-checked him in real time.
Yeah, so I'm a white nationalist, white supremacist.
All right, cool.
I don't agree with you when you say that none of us exist. Obviously, I want to deport the non-whites. I want to get rid of the blacks.
Well, I didn't say you guys don't exist.
Okay, so
I said that it's not like a viable excuse anymore to claim systemic racism.
We are real, right? You agree white nationalism and white supremacy is real?
Yeah, it exists, but it's not to keep anyone from success.
Now, the reality is that when Myron speaks on his platform about all the nonsense and rhetoric that he spews, he doesn't normally face any sort of pushback. And when he goes into these things like Twitter spaces and has conversations with actual white nationalists or these racists that he's championing, they kind of put him in his place.
We white people, we got to figure out what the roles are going to be for white men, white women. The problem is, I've talked to a lot of white folks, we don't want your Muslim, get the women back in the kitchen, put a garbage bag on their head. We don't want that. So when you're promoting that stuff, that's never going to...
Obviously, I'm not laughing at the racism that he's spewing. He's ignorant. He's an idiot. Okay, a bald head one at that. Whenever I see someone who has a bald head, I just have to point out that they're bald headed. Anyway, but I'm laughing at Myron because he wants to align himself with these people so badly. He wants their approval, and they want nothing to do with him. So that is what's funny to watch.
Work for us. Do you understand that?
Now, it's clear as day that this guy has hatred for anybody and everybody. I mean, after all, he's a white nationalist. I'd be surprised if he did generally like somebody.
And this is what I was referring to when I said that Myron tries so hard to separate himself from black people. Like, oh, y'all are black, I'm over here, I'm not black like y'all, because he wants to tap dance for people like this. But they see him just like they see black people. It's like no matter what country he originates from, he's black. And mind you, people have told me that he's from Sudan, which is an African country, and that is the land of the blacks, is what Sudan is. So what are we talking about? and race is a social construct, so we don't even need to get into the details of that. He's black, okay? I don't care what y'all talking about. The nigga's black, okay? But the point is, whatever he wants to identify as, people like this who don't fuck with black Americans, they don't fuck with him either. He's in the same boat as black people, the people he's trying to, talk down on and demean. You're in the same boat. That's what makes him so goofy and ignorant and idiotic. It's like, you're at the bottom of the totem pole with black people. What are you talking about? If that's how you see black people, they're inferior. You're right there to people like this that you tap dancing for.
The problem is that Myron continuously tries to find this middle ground with this guy. And not saying that there's an inherent problem with having a middle ground with somebody that sits on the opposite side of the spectrum. Maybe there's some more nuance that can be had in that conversation. But ultimately, finding, middle ground with the opposition is fine. But what this guy is basically telling Myron as he is giving some sort of middle ground is the way that you are speaking for me and my people is wrong. Although these are the same people that Myron is tap dancing to. Once these people are in front of him, they take the opportunity to embarrass him.
Do you support white nationalism?
I support any group's people to exercise nationalism. That's fine. My voice thought it was weird how white nationalists can't be white nationalists without being called some pejorative term or lose job opportunities.
So that's going to be a civil war, right? If there's black nationalists, white nationalists.
Well, I think that there's ways to mitigate that and exist in harmony.
Nationalism literally means we don't want to live in harmony. We want to have our own nation.
Well, you can do that via segregation. There's other ways to go about it.
We want to repeal the Civil Rights Act. You are against that, correct?
I just don't think that's a realistic option in 2026.
Now, I do got to give it up to Myron in this one. He is going to sit in this mess that he has created no matter what happens. Clearly, he doesn't understand these people that he's advocating for, but he knows that he's monetizing off of them, so maybe that's why he's sitting in them. But he's willing to sit through public embarrassment, backlashes, call-outs from this group of people, even to the tune of this white guy having to remind Myron that he's not a white guy, that he is a black guy. I know that that's so shocking to Myron. He still won't admit that he's wrong, though. That's what's the most amazing thing about this interaction to me.
Myron, listen, you're not white. We don't need you talking to white women, trying to, interact with them at all.
And that's the problem.
Right.
That's the problem. I don't need to be white to give a... See, here's the thing. You're behaving like a black person now. You're pimping out. You're literally behaving like a white person. You are behaving like a black person. So here's the difference. See, here's the funny part.
Not your women, Myron.
When I criticize black people, they'll sit there and say stupid shit like you're saying. You're not black, so you can't criticize us. You're doing the same shit about shit right now. Because I don't have to be... I don't have... See, here's the thing. Hey, Baldy.
To be called out of the grift...
Did he call Baldy?
Because I don't have to be... I don't have... See, here's the thing. Hey, Baldy.
To be called...
Did he call him Baldy? Yeah, I'll give him a point for that.
Out of the grift by the people you're supposed to be said that, but if he did, that's interesting concept. But only Myron Gaines, who is looking to get humiliated publicly, would find himself in this predicament. You see, the reason why this doesn't work the way that it used to is because these aren't kids anymore. These aren't these college students who just walked on campus, who aren't prepared with any sort of rhetoric facing some guy who is setting up trap questions. These are real people at this point. Hell, this is the demographic that he's actually speaking to, telling him that, you're factually incorrect, gang. In fact, the shit that you speak about, we don't even agree with. You say we're not pushing for this, but we are. You say that we want to reach some sort of harmony, but we don't. We actually want to sit on this extreme side. Now, Myron knows that he can't go that far into the rabbit hole. One, because he's probably already tied up with the name and label of extremists and wants to be able to move around fairly freely. But two, he knows he can't get that grift off. I just find it funny that he still can't admit that he's wrong. Maybe brush this guy to the side and be like, you know what? I probably should walk back on some of these points. But a grifter is going to double down in the grift no matter what. And Myron Gaines has had a long history of grifting antics and grifting behavior. The fake racism gimmick doesn't just fall flat here. It also leads into another person that walked up on Myron and asked him about his carry-on book choice,
Have you read that copy of Mein Kampf that you bring around with you, or is that just like performative?
I've read through it.
You read through it? Okay, no, wait. You read through it or you read it? There's a difference.
I've read through it. I focus on a certain, the chapter on the Jewish supremacy and the Jewish question.
So you haven't read anything about Lebensraum? Have you read anything about the Aryan race? What about that?
Oh, no, I'm familiar with that as well, those arguments, but that's not really what I'm...
Real quick. What chapter is the chapter where he talks about the Aryan race?
This fucking guy, bro. You do realize that there's different types of...
but there's only one
there's different versions.
The Aryan race.
There's different
volume
versions
2, I'll give you that. It's in volume 2. There's a hint. Which chapter is it?
Wait a minute. Did Myron just say that he read the King James version of Mein Kampf? Is he serious right now? He can't be serious right now. Myron does the classic LeBron James move of claiming that he's read a book in which he clearly hasn't. When quizzed on it, quick, he backs away from the question. The reason why he does this is because he's been carrying around this book performatively. You know, kind of like this new age man who reads some feminist textbooks, wears wired headphones, and drinks matcha.
Jordan or LeBron? Can we talk about the real ghosts? Harriet Tubman, Susan B. Anthony, Maya Angelou. I got you this book, homie. It's a classic.
This is Myron Gaines' attempt at that, but to do it towards like racist and white nationalists by carrying around Mein Kampf. For what it's worth, it's not a long read. It's not something that you just carry around and peek back into. It's weird because he can't like stand and double down in the rhetoric. For whatever reason, he carries it around as if it's a Bible of some sort. But the reason why he can't stand with the rhetoric is because he hasn't read the rhetoric. And when he starts to get questioned about that, he flashes on this dude.
Like using AI to ask these stupid ass questions.
It's not AI, you dumb motherfucker.
Yeah,
you can look up the book. The chapters are here.
Well, I don't need to look it up.
I was here for like an hour.
Yeah, I don't have to look it up like you do. The point I'm trying to make here is I focus on his arguments because here's the other thing. Hitler draws very much from Henry Ford and world Jewry and
you can pretend
international Jew.
Oh, he draws from Henry Ford, bro. You haven't read the book.
Do you watch my fucking show, buddy? Do you watch my show? Because I've talked about this.
I've watched.
Then shut the fuck up. You clearly don't know what you're talking about.
Like
you're coming in here. Oh, this guy's a copy of Mein Kampf. Let me ask him about this random thing about Aryan. Let me go ahead and attack him on this.
Fucking embarrassing. It's fucking embarrassing that you're carrying around a book performatively the same way a 10-year-old carries around a skateboard he can't use.
Oh, you mean this book?
Guys, it's a 700-page book. He's acting as if he's using it like a thesaurus or a dictionary. But whether you read this excerpt that you claim to have had read, or if you read the whole thing, there's no reason for you to carry it around other than, like this guy clearly called out, you're being performative. And when you're sitting here getting called out on just one of the takes, can you stand by one of the takes? Can you give a little thought process about one of the takes? You can't even do it. Part of the reason why groups like white nationalists are sick of a Myron Gaines and they're also exposing his grift is because of the stuff that happens with this whole Mein Kampf situation and other examples. Like when Myron is asked to sit in the fire and, answer, what's the details of this book? Why are you carrying this around still if you've read the excerpts that you need? It all comes off as grifty. It all comes off as performative. Maybe Myron should have went to like a community college to get this debate off. I don't know. There would be kids there and less informed people, so the pushback wouldn't be as severe. But right now, he is getting baked and flambéed in real time. He's got to put this gimmick down. Speaking of old and tired gimmicks, one of Myron's other tropes that he continuously, I don't mean continuously, gets exposed for is this whole relationship nonsense that he is continuing to push and peddle. I know it's been years that he's been trying to get this whole dating guru expert off. And I'm not gonna lie, Myron is much better in the political spirit. If he had to stick to one, he should put down this whole like dating expert gimmick.
Yeah,
and
you've already been exposed bad in that area.
The dating one isn't getting him. But when he is pressed about his relationship status at this UCLA tour, he falls back into old habits yet again. And it's just tiring. I'm not gonna lie. It's tiring, it's funny, but it's tiring.
You literally have one relationship in your mid-30s. Why should anybody listen to you for dating advice?
Because here's the thing, my friend. I've dated and been around a lot of women.
No, you haven't. So you know a lot about relationships?
Quite a bit, yeah. I understand female nature to a degree to identify which women qualify for a relationship and which ones don't. Being married, that means basically, okay, well, I found a wife, I'm cool or whatever. But that's not the male statistic of success. The reality is that the things that women are attracted to and aroused by are not politically correct a lot of the times. And women are not going to be honest, and they don't have a vested interest in being honest with what they are attracted and aroused by, because the things that arouse and attract them are not politically correct. Women like bad boys. Women like men that are dangerous. Now, women aren't going to admit...
This is the most elementary take I've ever heard in my life. Women like bad boys. They like men who are dangerous. At your big age, that's your...
this openly, so what they tell simps like you, I like a guy who's nice. I like a guy who gets me flowers.
Part of my issues with Myron's
That's a talking point I feel a lot of guys would use for women who are in like college, who are still trying to figure themselves out, or like high school girls. Sure, they go after the bad boys, but real women with careers in their 30s, Myron is in his fucking 30s, 40s, they're not like, oh, I like dangerous men who are out here shooting their ops. That's not a thing. So for you to say that at your big age about women just shows me that you know nothing about women at all around your age. Like, what? They like dangerous men who are taking them on high-speed chases. What grown-ass women with fucking bills and careers want dangerous men? That's not a thing when you get past a certain age. Like, what? So this just shows he has no experience at all. But we already knew that. He already got exposed for that. But my God, that was a horrible take.
Like, relationship rhetoric is that it hasn't evolved in any way, shape, form, or fashion over the past umpteen years that he's been on the internet. Part of it is because he's not seeking out any new POVs, like, at least in the concept of white nationalism, how he feels about Israel, Palestine, the Jews that exist in the world, etc., etc. He's at least performatively picking up textbooks and doing research to find out, different talking points to come in those conversations. In this relationship trope, he pulls out the same bag every single time. It's literally been the same one for years. It's corny, it's tired, and people have been calling him out on this for years at a time, and he's like an old dog. He won't learn any new tricks. Even when this guy announces to him that, like, yo, I'm married, he tries to downplay the fact that he is married and how that doesn't make him more of an expert than a guy like Myron Gaines, who has only had one real relationship in his 30s. And this is why this whole gimmick and shtick doesn't work anymore. The whole
with a successful relationship, let's be clear, not with some random thoughts in Miami who walking around looking for clout. We're not talking about them. That's not real dating experience. It's just not. It does not compare. So yeah, I would say that he's more of an expert than you.
Wrong series is that now more experienced people are willing to meet these social commentators out in public and debate them. Ones that have the lived experience, ones that are knowledgeable, ones that live the life that these people are talking to and about. Myron Gaines is sitting here telling a guy who has dated and ultimately ended up being married that Myron knows more about relationships than he does. And in fact, guy actually doesn't know anything about relationships because marriage isn't the ultimate.
And the one relationship he had, it wasn't even a real relationship. She came out and said she wasn't even sleeping with him. Like, what are we talking about?
Success for men. Like, what the fuck? Myron's telling a white nationalist what he wants, that he doesn't want harmony, his people don't want these voting amendments, appeal, that systemic racism doesn't exist, and all this other stupid nonsense. Like, it's the stupidest thing in the world. This shit used to work on kids when they used to walk up to him, be wide-eyed and bushy-tailed, and ready to overreact based off of the social media clips that they saw circulating around. But now, it's not working anymore. And for what it's worth, I do think Myron knows this, but he has some sort of tether to these kinks, these fetishes. He likes being punished on camera. You should probably start an OF. If you're a follower of Myron and his word, and you keep seeing him get humiliated on camera and punished like this in real time, based off of people who have lived experiences telling them that he's wrong, then I have to check in on you. Something has to be wrong with you. I will say though, every time this does produce a good laugh, the face that Myron gave when that white nationalist told him that, we don't want you talking to our women, it's actually fuck you, was priceless.
Agreed. I am here for it. But yeah, this is so sad. Once again, I always wonder what his family thinks. They can't be proud of his behavior at all. I'm sure they're embarrassed. They probably don't want to be seen with him. Like, what type of life is that to live? Is it worth it? I know he's making money from this, but at the end of the day, you're not going to have anyone. So that just seems like a very sad, lonely life. Your family is going to shun you. They're not going to want to be around you. They don't want to be associated with you. But you're like, oh, I got a good check this month. Like, is it worth it? Just because you need to grift for money? Like, this is what you're choosing to do? This is crazy. Y'all let me know what y'all think, though, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.